You know what time it is. It's spoiler talk time! Okay guys, if you're here, you saw Infinity War, or you just don't care and you want to hear me talk about what happens because you don't have time to see the movie, but I don't know why you would do that. Go see the movie! Today we're going to be talking about Infinity War and talking about all the spoilery things, so if you have not seen the movie, you should probably not watch this. Just throwing it out there. Okay. Wow. Where to begin? This movie really just destroyed me. So let's talk about some things. Let's talk about what I'm feeling about this movie. The first thing that comes to mind is how unpredictable and just incredibly bold this movie was. Like, I knew that it was going to be dark, and I knew that it was going to be intense, and I knew that people were going to die, but when I was watching this movie, and we were like, not even 5 minutes into the movie, and Thanos kills Heimdall, I was just like, alright, it's gonna be one of those movies. This is how it's gonna go. Okay, prepare yourself for trauma. And I was like sad, but I was like, okay, it's fine. It's Heimdall. He's awesome and I love him, but you know, it's okay. Everything's gonna be fine. And then he freaking kills Loki. Oh my god. I'm gonna be completely honest with you right now. If you watched all of my MCU recaps that I posted this week, you know that I am obsessed with Loki. He's like one of my favorite characters in the entire MCU. I literally, out of every moment in this film, this is the moment that I almost cried. I didn't cry, but I had tears in my eyes. More than any other character in this movie. I love Loki. I love him so much. And I feel like there were a lot of characters that I was kind of expecting to die. Like, I was like, okay, if these characters die, I'm gonna be sad, but I'm not gonna be like super shocked. Loki dying was incredibly unexpected. I did not even think for a second that that would happen. It just didn't even cross my mind. Even when I saw him in the movie, I was like, he'll be fine. He's always fine. He's Loki. And then he just strangles him and then he's dead. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? Are you serious? I have tears. I'm getting tears in my eyes right now. I love Loki so much. Granted, Loki, like, literally always comes back. Like, he's the god of mischief. He just finds a way. But I don't know, something about this just kind of felt like this was it. Like, this was the final one. But it would be very easy to write him in at some point later down the line, so I'm gonna try and have a little bit of hope, but I don't know, I think he's done. But this all happened within, like, the first 10 minutes of the movie. Who does that? Oh my god. I was just like, okay, I have to prepare myself for the rest of this film, because if that's how the first 10 minutes are gonna go, it's not gonna be a good time. This is gonna hurt. Honestly, there were a few people in my mind who I thought were going to die. I kind of thought Tony, but I hadn't really been convinced that Tony was going to die. Everyone I know was like, Tony's gonna die. He is dead. Robert Downey Jr. doesn't want to do this anymore. He's gonna die. It's gonna be a mess. And I was like, I don't know, man. Like, here's the thing. Tony was the first superhero in the entire MCU. Like, he was the first movie to come out was Iron Man. So I think he's gonna make it to the end. He's probably most definitely going to die at some point, probably in part 2 of Infinity War. But I didn't think he was gonna die in this one. I thought he was going to make it through because he kind of has to be like the last man standing. That's how I see it and kind of how I hope it happens. Okay, but that does not mean that when Thanos comes to Titan, I did not have an anxiety attack. I was like, Tony and Thanos are on the same planet. Oh my god. And that fight scene when he is just beating the ever-living shit out of Tony and his armor just keeps falling off and then his helmet gets punched off and no one is around to help. I was just like, this is it. It's happening. I didn't think it was gonna happen, but it's gonna happen right now and I don't know how I'm gonna deal with it. And then he gets stabbed and I was just like, it's over. This is it. Probably the most stressful scene in the entire movie was that fight scene because I just was like, there's no way Tony can beat Thanos. Like, I love Iron Man, but he's just a human with some cool tech. Like, he cannot fight Thanos. Just, no. There's no way. He's gonna die. But then Doctor Strange coming through, saving the day, which, okay. Doctor Strange is the real MVP. Beginning of the movie, he's like looking for possible outcomes and he's like, there's only one. Out of the millions of outcomes that the future holds, there's only one. where we win. And at first I was like, dude, why the fuck are you giving up the Infinity Stone? Are you crazy? You said you wouldn't. And then I was just like, this is the outcome. This is the only way. He has to get all the stones. Because Doctor Strange wasn't looking at the outcomes of the battle. He was looking at the overall outcomes of everything. Like, after. Like, the only way they can win is if they lose. I love you, Doctor Strange. Oh my god. What a cool concept. Oh! Another unexpected thing. Red fucking Skull. There were a lot of things that I didn't really see coming in this movie, but that I wouldn't have guessed in a million years that Red Skull would be in this movie. That moment, honestly gave me chills everywhere. I was so excited. I was screaming. Oh my god. I'm so fucking excited for Red Skull. And he looks so good. It doesn't look like the stupid bright red, like the mask version of Red Skull from Captain America: The First Avenger. Like, he's the Red Skull. He is here to fuck shit up. He's ready. And then that scene, there's so many scenes in this movie, guys. That scene, Thanos, and he's trying to get the Soul Stone, and Gamora, she's just like, there's no way you're gonna get this. You don't love anything. You don't love me. Why would you? There's no way. You couldn't possibly love me. And then you just see his face and you're like, oh my god. This big evil purple man loves his daughter. Like, he feels love. And he's like crying. And then Gamora's just like, what? Like, it was such an emotional moment. There's not even any time to process it. It's just like Gamora realizes that he loves her, and then he just grabs her and throws her over the cliff. Why? Oh, my heart. And then when Star-Lord realizes that she's dead, oh, the pain that I feel. Okay, what else? My mind is just racing with all the millions of things that happen in this movie. There's so many things. I need to watch it again because I'm probably going to forget to mention something awesome, and then I'm going to be really mad at myself. Comedy. Let's talk about some happy things, because I'm just an emotional wreck right now. There is some great comedy in this movie. I think one of my favorites is when Star-Lord meets Thor, and he's just like trying to imitate him and like be all manly, and Thor's just like it's not even registering what's happening. He's just like, you're a moron. That entire scene was so great. And he calls Rocket Rabbit. Oh, Thor. I loved Thor in this movie. Thor, man, he brought it. When he gets the freaking Stormbreaker, and when Groot makes a freaking handle out of his arm and is just like, I lost it. I was screaming. I was cheering. That was... Groot is just so awesome. I love Groot. Groot always gets a moment. A great moment. Another great moment, it's in the trailer, but when Cap is fighting Thanos and he's just like grabbing his hand with all his mighty strength, and Thanos, you see Thanos' face and he's just like, what the fuck? Is this guy seriously like actually able to hold me back? Like, what is happening right now? Such a cool moment. Oh my god. Cap was really badass in this film. Also, his entrance, probably the best entrance in the entire movie. You just see the train go by and then it goes past and you just see this silhouette of Cap, and then the music from Captain America. We all know the music. It's like so good. And it just starts playing and you're just like, yes, 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 yes. Oh man. The adrenaline. But okay. Real talk. We gotta talk about the end. I have been trying to think of what they were gonna do in this movie. I've been trying to think, are they gonna follow the comics? Are they bold enough to follow the comics? Because I don't know if you've read the comics, but everybody dies. Everybody. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna actually do this. But then Thanos gets all the stones. Also, the scene with Wanda and Vision when she's like killing him slowly, and it's so emotional, and then she does it and you're like, oh, I'm so proud of you, Wanda, you did it. And then Thanos comes over and is like, nah, bitch. He just wipes back time and Wanda's like, what? And then he just rips the thing out of Vision's head and Vision just falls. And side note, dead Vision looks really cool. Just saying, that suit, it's all like grayscale, pretty dope. Too bad he's dead. But that moment, my theater was so quiet. Everyone was just like, he has all the stones. And then he kills Vision, and you're already like jarred from that. But then he just looks at Wanda and he's like, and then you're just like, excuse me, who gave you permission? Infinity War. God. And then I think the first person to die is Bucky, and just the way that he just like walks over to Steve and just like is kind of standing there like looking at his arm, and he's just like, Steve? And then he just disappears. Like, my heart. And Steve just bends down and like touches the ground. He's just like, oh my god. And everyone in the theater is like, oh my god. And then everyone just starts dying. Everybody. It just starts disintegrating into nothing. And you think like, oh, it's only gonna be like a couple side characters, like no one really important is gonna die. And then it's like, Star-Lord disappears. T'Challa disappears. You know what? I think we should just tally up the death count right now. Let's do that. First, I'm gonna start with real deaths. I'm calling them real deaths because the Infinity Gauntlet related deaths are questionable. So first we got Heimdall, Loki, Gamora, and Vision. I think those are the only ones. I might be forgetting. There's a lot of people die, okay? Cut me some slack if I forget somebody. And then we have the Infinity Gauntlet related deaths. Bucky, Drax, Mantis, Star-Lord, Groot, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man! Oh my god. When he's like clinging to Tony and he's like, I don't want to go, I don't want to go, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. I was like, I don't want you to go. Don't go. Oh, this movie ruined me in so many ways. I was like, no, Peter can't die. Peter's too new. Peter's just a baby. Peter, you can't kill Peter. That's just wrong. And then just gone. And Tony just like laying there being like, I failed him. I did this to him. This is my fault. Like, you know he's thinking that it's his fault. Anyway, sidetrack here. T'Challa, Nick Fury, Maria Hill, Scarlet Witch, War Machine, Falcon. I feel like that's everyone. But okay, so like, let's talk about who is left. Who is left in this world? Tony, Cap. Honestly, I really thought Cap was gonna die. I thought he was done for, but he's still kicking. Rocket, who is the only Guardian of the Galaxy left. Like, I feel so bad for Rocket. He's all alone. Though, technically, he could bring Groot back if he took a little piece from the Stormbreaker handle, maybe? Thor is still here. Black Widow. Hulk. Or Bruce. We don't even really see Hulk that much in this movie because Hulk is terrified of Thanos. And I really don't blame him. Pretty much everyone from Black Panther except T'Challa is still around. Although we don't get confirmation that Shuri survives or dies, but I'm hoping she's still there. And last, but certainly not least, we have Nebula. Okay, so now it's time to talk about what's going to happen. I have 3 theories, kind of overlapping theories. So let's pretend the comic book happens. Like, they completely 100% follow the comic book. There are 2 characters who have ever wielded the Infinity Gauntlet. Nebula and Adam Warlock. We haven't seen Adam Warlock yet, but he was teased at the end credits scene of Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2, not 1. However, I don't think Adam Warlock is going to come in until after Part 2. I feel like it's too late to introduce a new vital character. I feel like Nebula is more likely. So here is what I think will happen if they follow the comics. Basically, what's supposed to happen is everyone dies. Even the people that are still left, they also die. Like, everybody dies. It is brutal. Except Nebula. Nebula does not die. Nebula goes to Thanos, takes his Infinity Gauntlet, kills Thanos, and uses the gauntlet to go back in time before everybody died. So that, or some variation of that, is gonna happen. I also have a theory that she's gonna use the Soul Stone to sacrifice herself, like her own soul, to resurrect Gamora's soul, because once Nebula kills Thanos, she really has nothing left to do. Like, she did what she came for. Gamora literally died for her, so she's like, alright, it's my turn to die for my sister. And I feel like that's gonna happen, because I don't feel like Nebula really having any purpose after that, whereas Gamora could come back and like do some more Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, you know? It's a theory. But I have another theory that I like a lot. I still think Nebula is going to play a vital role, but I really, really want Tony to be the last man standing. He was the first, he should be the last. Like, if he is the one to wield the Infinity Gauntlet, or I just want him to be the one to save everyone and possibly die while doing it. I don't want him to die, but like, he's probably gonna die. You just have to admit it. But I think that would be a really awesome way to go. Like, he's the first one to enter the MCU, and he's the last one standing, and he saves everybody in like a self-sacrifice, and it would just be so badass. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh boy. I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about, or at least everything I can think of. I really need to see this movie again because so much happened. I don't even know. But that's it for my spoiler talk. Let me know what you guys thought of this movie in the comments below. Let me know your favorite moment or if you agree with my theory or if you have a theory of your own. Oh, also Captain Marvel was teased at the end. Obviously we knew that was coming, but like, I'm super excited for that. I'm pretty sure Captain Marvel and Ant-Man and the Wasp are the only 2 movies coming out in between now and the next Infinity War movie. I'm incredibly curious to see how those 2 movies play out because like, obviously the world is incredibly different now, so they're gonna be really weird. Like, the tone of those movies, like, it's gonna be weird, right? I am excited. I am on this hype train. I am ready to go see this movie about 100,000 more times. I loved it so much. But that's it for my spoiler talk. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching this video. It might have been kind of long. There's a lot to talk about. But I am Steph Koza, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!